The NBA Finals are here. Here we go. The Oklahoma City Thunder will be taking on the Indiana Pacers in the NBA Finals. Oklahoma City pretty much ran through the Western Conference, except for Denver. They didn't run through them. It was a tough series. Went 7 games. Steamrolled through Minnesota to get to the NBA Finals. Indiana, they beat Milwaukee in 5, I believe, 5 games. They beat Cleveland in 5 games, and they beat the Knicks in 6. Pretty dominant playoff performance by the Pacers this year. And now they're going to be taking on Oklahoma City. I think, in my opinion, right, when we're talking about this matchup, it's not like I don't want to count the Pacers out. It's just that I would be very, 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 very fucking surprised if the Pacers even win a game. I would be surprised, in my opinion. They could get 1. Hell, they could get 2, but I'd be shocked. Now, is this glazing against OKC? Definitely. I'm glazing them. But they're a really good team. Like, it's not like I'm glazing them and they're not good or they're not who they think they are. They won 68 games. The only tough series was against Denver, and that was against another MVP in Jokic, right? Their defense, elite. Their offense, elite. They have an MVP. They have Jalen Williams driving to the rim. Chet Holmgren can score. Shooters all over the place who also play great defense. They have, in my opinion, the best team in the playoffs. I think when you go down the list of matchups, I think they pretty much beat the Pacers in every matchup department. If we want to talk about just going point guard, shooting guard, small forward, and so forth. And I like Indiana. Their offense is nice. But can they get by Oklahoma City's defense, right? Are they going to be able to play that kind of ISO pick and roll ball, make the quick swing pass to the corner, to the wing, when they're just sitting in the passing lane waiting for you to do that? When they're ready for you to pass the ball. Because they play such good one-on-one defense that all they need to do is play the gaps. Because they know that this guy is going to be able to either stick in front of you or force you to the side where there's help. So you're either going to have a tough shot or a turnover. And if it's wide open, it's just a collapse coverage. Can Indiana have that happen for 4 straight games or just 4 games in general? I don't think that they can even get 2 in a row, let alone 4. I mean, in my opinion, if this series goes 6 games, OKC wasn't good enough. That's just me. But who knows? We'll see. Daniel, you got any thoughts about the finals coming up?
I mean, look, I tend to mostly agree with you. I think you make excellent points. I think I will say this. When you look at who they played, talking about OKC, they played a Grizzlies team that was nothing. They played a very, very non-exciting Timberwolves team at the end that kind of ran out of gas. And when you highlight the Nuggets series, they struggled, right? They struggled a lot. I think it was in part because of Jokic and his scoring in his matchup. And they faced a really good defensive team. Like, Denver was a really good defensive team. Probably one of the better teams in the playoffs. Look at who the Pacers fought, they destroyed Milwaukee, which had no answer for them. The Cavs team, which was probably just lackluster and really just kind of they had no compete. And they played a Knicks team that played tough defense. They just could not score. So when you kind of break it down like that, I notice the pattern, right? The Pacers haven't played a team with a great defense like OKC. And OKC has probably faced their toughest defense in these playoffs. And they came out and they won. Right? This Pacer defense is good, not great. And against OKC, you need to be elite. Right? So that's where I'm focusing on the most is could the Pacer defense hold out for potentially 7 games? Absolutely not. Right? I don't believe that the Pacer defense can defend for consistently enough against OKC and win 4 games off of them. I don't. I don't think OKC will struggle against the Indiana Pacer defense. I think Indiana at times, who are really good offensively and really great, also not elite. They do make mistakes. They turn the ball over a lot. They foul a lot. They allow teams to get back into games. They get 20. They get down by 20. You know, and it's an Indiana Pace team that comes from behind a lot, but OKC won't allow it to happen. When OKC gets the lead, they don't give it up. They just don't. And I feel like OKC with Shai and all their scoring and all their dribble penetration and their fouls and calm foul baiting, whatever, but it works and they score and they break down defenses. And Indiana's defense is not all that. It's just not. And I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to who was the better team. It's OKC. It's just period stop. Like, these are not, like, it's the best team in the NBA and one of the best teams in the NBA, not the second best team in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So I think in that regard, Indiana will struggle. And I think Rick Carlisle might make an adjustment or two that wins him a game or two. Maybe he gets one in Indiana, because that place will be loud and rocking. I could see that being an advantage. But home court doesn't matter anymore. So I could see them nicking a game or two, but I'm with you. I can't see going no more than 6. I think OKC is just too good. I think they just have too much for Indiana to handle, especially off the bench as well. They're a deep team as well. And if you're going by player, bench by bench, coach by coach, OKC has it all. They just do. And, maybe Halliburton gets it. Again, maybe Halliburton gets it. Maybe the Pacers are able to nick a game at home because OKC has a bad shooting night. But OKC is not going to have a bad shooting night for 4 games. They're not. So I think I agree with you. I think I'm not going to try to echo the points you made, but OKC should have no problem in the series, and I really don't see them struggling at all.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be a matchup where if OKC struggles, I'm like, damn, Pacers are really the kryptonite for all, like, good teams. Like then what can we do? The Pacers are just kryptonite. I don't know what's happening, right? Or they could just fall flat on their face, but I would really, really doubt that. But I did come up with some keys for the game for each of the teams for the series, for the OKC and Pacers. So I'm just going to rattle off some of their keys. So keys to the game, keys to the series for OKC, getting to the paint and drawing fouls. Now, listen, guys, we get it. We see it in the comments, right? Just because I said draw fouls, SGA is already shooting 2 at the line, right? We get it. They love their free throws. They go into the paint and they get fouled. They maybe sell it a little bit, but they get fouled nonetheless. Or they get the call nonetheless. And I think that is going to be their way of counteracting Indiana's pressure, get them into foul trouble, help into the paint, and then try to go up, right? You know what I'm saying? Get fouled, whatever. And then they're going to have to, like, kind of lay back, not foul, not play as tough as defense as they can on you. So now Shea can kind of get more open looks and they won't be reaching as much. And then, they'll try to stop him in the paint. Boom, kickouts for 3. All of those things I think are very key for the OKC Thunder. One-on-one defense, I feel like, is a key. Tyrese Halliburton and some of these Pacers, when I watch their offense, they sometimes get out of this habit of just moving without the basketball, and they kind of get stuck in this ISO pick and roll game, right? I get it, it's cool, but if you're able to stop that, what does Indiana have outside of that? For me, at least, if they're not forcing turnovers and running with the ball, right? So it's going to have to be that discipline in one-on-one defense and that discipline in the passing lanes, right? Are you where you're supposed to be? Are you playing the gaps? Are you playing every passing lane? And are you trusting your guy to not even keep Tyrese Halliburton or Aaron Nesmith or Nembhard in front of them? Because it's hard, right? So even if he gets by you, are you making it difficult, and are you forcing him to the side where there's help, where they could stunt, recover, back out to the shooter? Because that's what Tyrese Halliburton likes to do. He likes to get into the paint, likes to do those nice little crossovers. Boom, once you send the help, boom, kick out. Right? Are you going to be able to stunt and recover and be in those passing lanes and force those turnovers? Then you could play Indiana's game, where now you're running. So that is something that we'll see also in the series. Consistency from the three-point line from OKC. If they can consistently hit their threes to keep up with Indiana, how they like to shoot threes, they're going to be golden. They're going to be money because they know they can get in the paint. They know they can score in the paint and draw fouls with that. But can they hit those threes when they're open? Are they going to be able to do that at a consistent basis, right? You don't got to hit every three. You don't got to hit every open three. If you can hit 2 out of every 5 threes, you're money. You're golden. So that's some of the keys for OKC. Now for the Pacers. Just like what they did in the Knicks series, if they can force turnovers, OKC is going to be in a lot of trouble. Indiana loves to run. They love to get out. Even when you make a shot, they love to get out on fast break, even though it's not even a fast break. So if they could force OKC to turn the ball over and not foul them, Indiana's going to be in pretty good shape because they can get some wide open shots, easy runs to the lane, easy dribble penetration, kick out for 3. And their game it opens up a whole next level of their offense that to where if they're not able to do it, it kind of shuts them down and limits them into only half court. Play without fouling. This is the toughest one because I'm not going to lie. They like to foul a little bit. All right. SGA, he's the best at drawing fouls. Whoever's guarding him, whoever's being point of attack, I assume they're going to rotate guys on him. I don't think they'll just keep one guy on him the entire game because that's crazy. That's ludicrous.
I think primary is probably going to be Nesmith, I would
Probably
assume.
Nesmith, right? So
But he's us.
Nesmith, you got to not foul. You got to understand that if you can hip check. I'm all cool with having a little hand on the hip, but you got to remember to pull the hand back because SGA likes to get these calls. Whether you like it or not, he gets the call. So you got to be able to play without fouling. Go straight up vertical. Don't do any silly fouls either where you're clearly grabbing or pushing somebody. You have to play without fouling. And I know it's hard because maybe there's a tick-for-tack call. Maybe there's I really didn't touch him. Maybe he initiated. You just have to go with it. Try your best to not foul. Try your best. Because if you try your best, you probably won't draw as many fouls on you as you think you would. So just try your best. And then ball movement. I think for me, if you play the game where you have to ISO in its late shot clock situations, and you're driving into the paint, and then you have to pass the ball, because if not, it's a tough layup or a tough shot, OKC's got you. So if you have to be able to move the ball literally for all 24 seconds. The ball always has to be moving. 3 dribbles or less. That's what I think that Pacers offense should be, because then you kind of eliminate this, I'm sitting in the passing lane, I'm literally waiting for you to pass the ball, I'm in these gaps already, right? I think nice dribble penetration, kick out, swing, right? Somebody's diving to the paint, right? I need to see action, movement, cutting along the baseline, cutting in the free throw line, paint area. I need to see all of that and movement on the three-point line as well. I need to see all of that if I think the Pacers want to be successful in this series, because you can't just play this ISO game and then expect to just make an easy pass. There are no easy passes against this team. There is no easy shots one-on-one against this team because they're always drawing you to help, or the defender's good enough to where he could just force the ball out of your hands, and create a tough shot. And then you got a guy just waiting for you to pass the ball because they're so disciplined. OKC is. You have to break up their disciplinedness and make it kind of crazy, right? You have to keep moving, keep rotating, right? You have to be in constant movement, kind of like what Steph Curry does, right? Just once you pass the ball, move, go somewhere else, try to get the ball back, pump fake, dribble in the lane, kick, keep moving, which takes a lot of cardio and a lot of stamina. So if they can do that, I truly believe that they will have a really good chance at winning some close games and keeping the games as close as possible against OKC. Boom. We did that. There you go. So what do you think about those key points? Anything you want to highlight?
Yeah, I think obviously the big one for Indiana is going to be the fouls because they do like to foul. They do absolutely. It's a problem. And look, I think whether it's going to be Neesmith, Nembhard, probably not Halliburton. Shouldn't be Halliburton. God forbid it's Halliburton. But I think whether it's one of the combination of of two of them, they have to try to keep it. They're trying to stay in front of Shea as much as possible. Can't let him get past you. Fight over screens. Don't let him have any clear shot to the hoop. Because even if he does have a clear shot, he's going to get the foul call. So just trying to limit that as much as possible. And not even him, not even Neesmith or Nembhard. Same with Turner. Same with Halliburton. It has to be a team-wide philosophy that we cannot get into foul trouble early. Because they will hit their free throws as well late in games. So they really have to be economical with how they foul and where they foul. And the turnover battle. It's going to really be a big turnover battle. If they can force turnovers again like they did to the Knicks, and they can go run and gun, they're able to kind of bring their own style into this game and play with speed. It could be a problem for OKC. The thing is, OKC probably hasn't faced a defense this quick, but I still don't think that it should be a problem for them. And again, like you said with OKC, I think they need to establish right away their defense. They need to establish right away their intensity. I think if they're able to kind of put the fear of God to Indiana in game one, it shouldn't be a problem the rest of the way, right? You get Indiana thinking, that's Indiana's problem, right? So if they stick to their game, they force turnovers again from Indiana, they get in passing like you said, and I do think they'll hit enough threes. I do think they'll be able to score Indiana, but I think it's going to come down to, can they limit Indiana late in the game? I think Indiana late in the game has an advantage and has the ability to make clutch shots and hit clutch threes. But OKC can get at such a huge lead that it won't even matter. So I think that's going to be the big key here, is how close all these games are going to be. In game one is going to be very telling into which direction the series is going.
Yeah, I agree. Any comments about the points for the Pacers as well?
No, like I said, I think the turnover battle is going to be key. They have to. I think they have to show pressure on OKC right away. They have to force the ball out of Shai's hands as much as possible. Get it into one of their bigs. Maybe try to force it into Alex Russo's hands or Lou Dort. I think putting pressure and doing the full court pressure will be a new look for them. I think matching OKC's speed could be really important as well defensively. And yeah, I think their defense has been timely, Indiana, where they'll get a stretch where for like 12 minutes they play the most elite defense you've ever seen. Can OKC fight through that and show some? Because again, OKC has been a little bit inconsistent sometimes in playoffs when facing defense that are tough. So they have to kind of fight through that. Your second point was
play without fouling.
Fouling
and ball movement. No
ball
ISO.
movement.
I said no ISO ball. I don't want to say no ISO ball at all.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. The ball. I like if Halliburton's 1-on-1, it's gonna, because here's the thing with Indiana, they love their pick. They love their pick and roll. So I guess in that regard, it wouldn't be ISO. Indiana don't really do that much ISO. It's a lot of kicking out and sitting on the perimeter, which is their game. So it's a conflict of interest, because you want to play your style and you want to play what you're comfortable in. But if your opponent directly counters that, how do you adjust? And that's where Rick Carlisle needs to do a lot of work. Is how can we adjust? So this will be a big test for Rick Carlisle to see, does he stick with his guns and what got him here, or is his team able to adjust to how they could play differently? So I think that's going to be the big battle coaching wise there. And in the end, I think scoring won't be a problem, won't be an issue, but to me, it comes down to defense turnovers and not fouling. Indiana has to do a lot right compared to what OKC has to do, but if they do it right, they'll be able to catch the OKC team off guard, maybe win a couple games.
Fair enough. And we will see. The finals start on Thursday. So this should be a really fun series. I get it. It's small market. People, listen. I know David Stern is turning over in his grave because the Lakers aren't in it. The Heat aren't in it. Right? These big cities aren't in it. Listen, guys, the Spurs ain't in it. Right? It's 2025. So what? Just watch basketball. This is going to be a really fun series. You got two great point guards, two good teams, two teams that play a fun style. When OKC's on and clicking, they're amazing. When the Pacers are on and clicking, they're fantastic. Right? Watching them play defense and offense at an elite level for stretches is really fun. So this is going to be a really fun series, whether it's a domination or whether it's like a close series, right? If it goes 6 or 7 games, this is going to be fun. So I'm actually really excited about the finals. It would have been better if it was the Knicks, but we can't say that. So
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I agree. It should be a lot of fun. It should be very high scoring. I feel like in both games and all these games as well. Definitely showing off the modern NBA and how the NBA is played now. And it's good that you get like a good focus on, like Shai gets a really good spotlight, Halliburton gets a really good spotlight. And look, I think small markets are a good thing for the NBA as well. Maybe not for the sponsors and the viewers, but our viewership numbers and ESPN, boo-hoo, nobody watches our sports anymore. But I think, you'll see a very fun NBA final. You'll see a very competitive one. And you'll see either a complete masterclass from OKC or you'll see something pretty competitive from Indiana. Both ways.
Yeah. So that's going to do it. That's our finals preview, breakdown, analysis, whatever you want to call it.
Your predictions?
Huh?
Your predictions?
Oh. OKC in 4. Yeah. I said 5 for like the last week. I'm changing it to 4, respectfully.
I'm gonna say in 5. I think Indiana get 1. I think OKC in 5. I think Indiana take 1 at home, and it's gonna be a cruise for OKC.
Yo, it don't matter. You got the Indiana Fever, Indiana Pacers, Indiana Jones. OKC in 5. Come on.
Yeah, you got the Pacers, you got the Fever, you got NASCAR, you got Pat McAfee, you got the Colts. It don't matter.
OKC in
5. It could be a tornado. It could be a Gran Torino. It could be a Grand Lucha. It could be El Nino. It don't matter. Thunder in 5.
Thunder in 5, baby. Come on, baby. It could be SGA, PGA, or the USA. Oklahoma City in 5. So we'll see. We'll see, man. I don't know. I just think 4, for me at least, I think this is going to be a dominant showing. Maybe I'm glazing. Maybe I'm glazing too hard. But
you kind of are. I'm not going to lie, bro. You kind of are. You kind of are. I'm not
When you
gonna
win
lie.
68 games, it's hard not to glaze. All right? When you see great
You're not
defense, it's hard to
wrong, but
glaze.
you're also not wrong.
And I am glazing, though. This is clear glaze. But I like donuts. So what do you want me to do? All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys with the reactions. We're going to have a Tom Thibodeau reaction. We're going to have this up. And then we're going to have the NHL finals up coming soon within like the next hour and a half. I'll get it done.
Yeah.
I got you. So
It's coming fast and furious over here.
That's right. So we'll see you guys with our reaction on Thursday night for the NBA Finals. And then Friday we have the main show. Or if anything else pops up, we'll be back tomorrow. So we'll see you guys, I guess, sometime this week. We'll see you guys again.
Yep.
Take care.
We'll be here.
Subscribe, like, do all the good stuff. Peace out. Take care.